we're back again, and today we're going to do some work on shoe tying. We have two methods here. One is the more traditional way that everybody learned to do, and this way will be an adaptive way that we have. So we start with blue over shoe, yellow over blue, tip of yellow under and through. And sometimes the kids may be working on this step for quite a while, so they may be just going blue over shoe, yellow over blue, tip of yellow, under and through, pull two. Once they've mastered that, we then start with making a bow and pinching it down by the knot. So we wrap, poke it through, and pull. Pretty much everybody's familiar with that way. The adaptive way we go is blue over shoe, yellow over blue, tip of yellow, under and through, pull two. And then you do the exact same thing again, and you end up with something the kids call a swimming pool. Then you take one lace, you dive in, come out the other side, you dive in, come out the other side, and then you just pull it, and it's a bow. So these are really great with these longer laces because it allows you to have these larger bows and be less refined. So the same thing can work with a regular shoe. You just say the verbiage to yourself, blue over shoe, yellow over blue, tip of yellow, under and through, pull two, bow, wrap, poke, pull, like that. And then Kelly is going to demonstrate a TP.
And you have simple words, that's important.
Yes.
That you have just simple words. And probably if you wanted to make one of these at home, you could just get a clipboard and two different color strings and be able to make it at home. I think that would be a good thing to do. Okay. All right. Okay, so this method is maybe someone who is struggling, who you may try that with and it doesn't work and they're just having a really hard time. This is a different method. So you know your child, you know what you think that they can do, and looking at the two different examples, begin with the one you feel
they
they
have
can start
crossing
with.
midline issues.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, yes. And this is actually good because this one here is a larger, more gross motor activity to do with the children for shoe tying. What I did is went to the Dollar Tree for $1 and bought 2 jump ropes and then tied them at the bottom. And then what I do is I sit with the child, they have their set and I have mine. And I first show them the whole shoe tying thing, just to show them what we're doing and explain we're trying to tie our shoes. But you're gonna start with step 1, and until they get step 1 or 2, you don't move on to step 3. So I have a little printout here that we're gonna zoom in on. It has the steps. And so until they've mastered that step, don't move to the next step. But again, you can show them yourself so they visually see it. I think there's a power of 3 in teaching, so you can show them yourself by doing it together. He's sitting and beside you, they can see it 3 times. It's a good thing for the brain. But then when you do it again, don't pull them through the steps until they've mastered that step. So this is how we do it. So I'm gonna have Audrey come behind me. Okay, and then for the older children, I would just say red and blue string. For the younger children, you might have a child that likes you to sing to them, and I pretend they're snakes. And so that I say that, this is red snake and this is blue snake, and I cross them and cross them and cross them. So depending on your child, either they like singing or they don't. But so what I do is I have them hold the strings, and they're sitting beside me with theirs, and I do it 3 times. I say, first you take red snake and blue snake and you cross them. You cross them, you cross them. Okay, and then I show them how you switch hands. And then you take red snake and you pinch between the X's and you go underneath the TP in the back and pull tight. Then I show them how I get a bow and pinch it with my fingers here. And then I hug the bunny ear, or if it's a child that doesn't do that, you say just hug, the bow. And then I tell them to push it through the back, just like the TP again, through the back. And let's go, and you pull it tight. But again, the power of three when you're doing it and you're trying to teach them to cross it. It's I cross it, I cross it, I cross it. I take red and a blue and I cross them, I cross them, I cross them. Then I switch hands. Then I pinch at the X. Then red snake jumps over through the back of the teepee, pull it tight. Make a bunny ear. Hug the bunny. Then push the bunny ear through. Pull it tight. So that is how you do it there, again, staying with the steps. 1, 2, 3, and the steps are right here. So that's a good thing to start with. And then this is another way too that you can do these steps with if you have 2 pipe cleaners, which again are at the dollar store, and you just put them in the front laces, and then you show them the same thing. Take blue and orange and you cross them. You cross them, you cross them. And you say blue snake jumps over, back door into the teepee. And they can actually see how these actually bend and hold. It's a lot easier to hold. So then they can squeeze it and they can actually feel it. They can see, and then they can feel how it pushes through and then makes a bow. But again, with this one too, you want them to not move on from one step until they've mastered the step. So if it's usually take the snakes and you cross them, you cross them, you cross them, and you get an X. You pinch the X, switch hands, snake goes back in the teepee, pull it tight. Make a bunny ear, hug the bunny, around the back, push it through, pull it tight. So that gives them a feel of how it does it. And then from that, you can progress to soft strings. And if you'd like to do 2 different colored strings, then you can do that. And before you know it, they're tying their own shoe. And that's it.
That's it.